All right, fellas, what's going on? Denonu here, the man with the biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And in this video here, we're going to be talking about The Last of Us 2. You just had the reveal trailer drop. I don't know what game show it was, but something went on where the trailer dropped and we actually got the first footage of the game. And it seems to pick up sometime later. I don't know how long or anything like that, or how long it's been, but you see Ellie sitting down on a bed playing a guitar and in this one house that's overgrown by the forest, and you see a bunch of dead bodies in the house and everything like that. And basically this guy comes in there. I'm assuming it's Joel because, you know, the guy sounded just like Joel, so it's probably Joel. Comes in there and he basically asks Ellie what's she doing, what's she gonna do, or something like that. And she says that she's gonna kill them all, and that's pretty much where it drops out. And it makes me speculate about the story of the game, because after part 1, it kind of ended with you solved the situation and then you got out of the situation, and that's it. So it looks like you see Ellie and stuff all beat up and everything and covered with blood and stuff. So it looks like she went inside of this house and killed all of these guys, or fighting her way in there or something like that, right? Or she was living there and the house got stormed by people and she defended herself and killed them all. One of those two situations. And Joel is coming there after the fact, right? So it makes me wonder, like, I think in this game we might be playing as Ellie, you know, rather than Joel. Because Ellie in this looks like it may be like 10 years later, because Ellie seems to be more grown up, you know, than she was in the previous game. So this doesn't look like a 5-year jump or something like that. Maybe it looks like 7 to 10, somewhere in there. So Joel, maybe, you know, even though he was a beast in the last game, don't get me wrong, maybe he's, you know, just like Danny Glover, maybe he's too old for this shit. So maybe, you know, Ellie, you know, takes the place of the main character and everything. Or it could just be that's just, you know, part of the story, and maybe they'll still make us play Joel. But the reason why I don't think that is because by Ellie being more grown and everything, and by them showing, let's say, Joel getting there after the fact, story-wise, it like that's the first thing that jumped out to me is like, oh shit, we're playing Ellie now versus Joel, you know. And I think they're gonna try to have that protector mindset, is because she said she's gonna find them and kill them all. So that tells me something happened. Like, either maybe, let's say, Ellie met a man or whatever, they hooked up, maybe they had a kid or something, and then bandits came and either kidnapped her kid or kidnapped, you know, the man in her life. Something like that had to happen, and that's why, you know, all the bodies are laying on the ground, and she's gonna be like, I'm gonna kill them all. Because that's kind of incredibly vindictive, you know. That's one of those things where it's like there's only certain things that could have happened to trigger that kind of emotion, and that's one of them. So I'm thinking that something, you know, Ellie's tried to live a good life or whatever, or as best she can anyway, and something happened which sends her down this road with Joel being her backup. Like, yo, look, we got to go handle some shit, Joel. And Joel's like, well, you know, this is Tuesday, so let's go. You know, and that's what I think, you know, the main, you know, part of the game is going to be about. I don't think this is going to be like a continuation from the story from the last game, because they pretty much solved that problem, unless there was some unknown remnant groups of the Firefly scientists or whatever that want Ellie for something. But then that's kind of just repeating the same thing. So I could see them meeting like a different group of bandits or raiders, and just shit jumps off, and they, you know, you have to go deal with it, you know. But as long as they take the same pace with the storytelling, the game is going to sell YouTube. Like The Last of Us, even when I played it, like The Last of Us was great. I remember doing a whole Let's Play of it, if you guys want to check it out on my channel, and I loved the game. There wasn't really nothing about the game that I heavily disliked, except how they broke up the gameplay got kind of repetitive. That's the only thing I will say. I'm not picky when it comes to my games. I've been playing games since like '85. So graphics, music, sound, whatever, you know, that, you know, I could care less about all of that stuff. To me, it's all about story and gameplay. And I'm not one of those YouTubers who pick at every little thing about the game and say, you know, say the game sucks. But the one thing I will say is the game was good from a story perspective. It had a nice, good length to it. They padded out the gunplay scenes with like those ladder and swimming segments from the first game. That was a design choice. So that's the only thing I could say that if I were making the game, I would either trim that down some type of way, introduce some mechanic that where you can pad out gameplay without making it feel repetitive. I don't know how they would do it, but that's the only thing I would either take out or just make it one continuous flow. Because if you took the first game and basically cut out those ladder segments where you had to set up ladders or cross a stream or something, and let's say just jam the game together and stitched it back up, and that was your game, that game would have been perfect. You know, unless you didn't like the story or you didn't like, you know, something about the game in particular. I know me, I'm not that big of a zombie fan. Even though they weren't zombies, it was damn near a zombie game, but just that they weren't zombies. I'm somebody who I hate zombies. I'm a huge fan of the older George Romero movies back in the day. But I'm not one of those zombie guys who just, you know, get a hard on for zombies and, you know, and movies and stuff like that. I'm more of a sci-fi person. Now, sci-fi, yes, my geek boner will be strong, but zombies not really my thing. But what gripped me about The Last of Us was the story, the characters, mainly just Joel in particular, because he was like that righteous fury type, old school man type stereotype, which I love to death. Maybe if you don't have one of those men in your life, you know, I know to me, my character would be my dad if I had to pick somebody like that. My dad's the same way. So maybe that's why I like the game a little bit more than most, but I love the hell out of that game. Even like when he was laser punching people. Loved how brutal the fight scenes were. Loved that torture scene when he popped that guy's knee off. I loved damn near everything about that game. So as long as they take that same kind of mindset, I hope they ride this into a next franchise, kind of like how they did with Uncharted, where you had the first game come out and then they branched off with 2, 3, and 4. Maybe I'm hoping that they continue this in the vein of The Last of Us and they can make a franchise out of that and, you know, progress it from game to game to truly make a great storied experience. So I can't wait for The Last of Us 2. You know, I'm probably going to, I don't pre-order games, but I'm probably going to pre-order because I know I'm going to be playing it anyway. That's just how it is. It's one of those games, for me at least, where if, hence, like my PlayStation 3, right? I brought my PlayStation 3 specifically way back when to play Metal Gear Solid 4. The Last of Us is kind of like in that same vein with me, where like if they came out with like a PlayStation 5 and they was like, look, Last of Us is going to be an exclusive, it's like, okay, this is one of the games that I'm buying my system for. That's how, you know, big I treat the game and everything. So it looks great, YouTube. Looks great. Hope they continue on. I hope they don't fuck it up with, you know, trying new things or trying to experiment with a new type of gameplay or something like that that could end, you know, that could be hit or miss, and then it ends up being a miss and messes things up. But I'm hoping things turn out good, and I'm hoping that the game is really a great storytelling game, and Joel probably has to die at the end. I mean, that's the only way that I can see that game going, you know, the sequel. It's kind of like, okay, if you're going to have Ellie be the main character, and then you have all of this stuff happen during the game, Joel has to die at the end. I mean, he has to fulfill his purpose. I mean, that's going to probably break my heart, you know, to see that, but it is what it is. I mean, it'll make for a great story. But anyways, let me know how you guys think down there in the comments below. My name is Denonu, the man with the biggest and the most blackest privilege on YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next commentary video. Peace out.